What's up, YouTube? T Movies here. Now, yesterday, of course, I did my top 10 favorite 1980 movies. So now, today, I'm going to do my top 10 favorite 1981 films. Because, like, this whole week, I'm pretty much doing, like, an 80s center-based list, you know? So anyway, that being said, here, like, it's funny, you know, I wasn't, like, born in the 80s or anything, but I do appreciate the 80s films and music and whatnot, so anyway, that being said, here's my 10 favorite 1981 movies. Alright, coming in at number 10 is the Terry Gilliam classic. This is a Six Dwarfs, kind of like Snow White in a way, who ends up emerging from a history buff's closet one night, and they're like also former employees of the Supreme, being played by Ralph Richardson. So they pretty much purloin like a map charting all the holes in the fabric of time, and like use it to steal treasures from like different historical eras. Here you got Ian Holm as Napoleon. You got John Cleese as Robin Hood. Sean Connery is King Agamemnon. It's a really good movie. I mean, it's a really good fantasy adventure. You know, Terry Gilliam directed this movie pretty well. And this actually talks about like a TV version of Time Bandits coming, but not a whole lot of movement have been brought on it yet, but I'm down to see another Time Bandits. But anyway, the original Time Bandits is kind of a cult classic, so if you guys haven't seen Time Bandits yet, check it out. I mean, it was kind of like the Lord of the Rings of that era, and it featured, of course, some of the Monty Python gang, and it's a really good film. Check it out. Alright, coming in at number 9 is probably the best horror movie of 1981, and that is The Evil Dead. I mean, The Evil Dead is just an iconic horror film. I mean, you've got Bruce Campbell as the role of Ash Williams here, who of course brings his girlfriend and 3 pals into like the woods to a cabin for fun and all. But of course they end up finding an old book. Anywho, sorry about that. They end up finding like a book and read it, and you know Ash and like evil emerges, and you know Ash ends up pretty much watching his friends become possessed and now this movie was insane at the head. Like it came out at the head of its time, and it was of course directed by Sam Raimi, who went on to direct the Spider-Man franchise and whatnot. Anyway, The Evil Dead is great. You know, it's bloody, it's gory. You know, I do love that stuff. To me, it's also like the best horror movie of that era. It's a really great one.
Yeah, I would like.
I mean, if you guys still never seen the original Evil Dead that came out in 1981, check out the original Evil Dead. It's a horror classic right there. Alright, coming in at number 8 is going to be a comic classic, Stripes. I mean, in this it stars, Stripes stars Bill Murray as this cab driver named John Winger, who ends up getting fired from his job, and he ends up getting dumped by his girlfriend too, so not the best luck. So to get back on track, he decides to enlist in the U.S. Army with his close pal named Russell Zisky, played by Harold Ramos. And there he of course has some basic training, and there's of course the Army Scout there, and it has some pretty good cast members. Like you got sorry about that. Anyway, you know, you got John Candy in this. Some pretty good cast members. It's been a while since I've seen Stripes, but yeah, it was of course directed by Ivan Reitman, who of course went on to direct Ghostbusters. Bill Murray was hysterical in this movie, and Bill Paxton was in this too. Boy, interesting cast members. Ivan Reitman put together for this film. But yeah, if you guys never seen Stripes, it has some really funny like comedic timing. It has some funny lines in it. Watch Stripes. You'll be glad you did. right, coming in at number 7 will be another common classic, and that is Arthur. Now, this film stars the great Dudley Moore as pretty much New York City playboy Arthur Bach, who's pretty much a drunk, and he's ruthless and whatnot. I mean, he's not that much of a likable character, but he ends up becoming likable down the line and all. But this movie is hysterical. It's really funny. I mean, Dudley Moore was terrific in this movie. Of course, you had Liza Minnelli in this, Joe Ickenberry, some really good cast members, and of course they did like a remake of this with For Getting Sarah Marshall Boy, Russell Brand. That was pretty good, but not as good as the original. I mean, definitely check out the first Arthur, because they also did like a sequel called Arthur 2 something. I can't remember the title, but it's not that good. It's the best. All right. Coming in at number 6 will be a film that you probably could watch every marathon, and that is Chariots of Fire. I mean, of course, this is pretty much about like the 1920s Olympics in the UK, and it's about like two runners who are like training for the 1924 Paris Olympics. And you got Eric Liddell, played by Ian Charleson, who's a Christian born to the Scottish missionaries in China, and he ends up seeing like as part of his like worship of God's glory, and refuses to train or compete on the Sabbath. Then you got Harold Abram, played by this actor named Ben Cross, who ends up overcoming anti-Semitics and class bias. This, of course, has one of the most iconic music scores of all time. Anyway, it's a really classic one. It's pretty much like a sports underdog tale. You know, it's very inspirational. Great performances by the cast. Like, if you guys never seen Chariots of Fire yet, check it out. And that music score, when they're like more running and whatnot, that score has been portrayed, like, been used in countless of other movies. So there's a little tip for you there. But anyway, yeah, definitely check out Chariots of Fire if you guys never seen that. Now, lots of people probably have that as their number one favorite. I like Chariots of Fire, but I don't think it's the best movie that era, to be honest with you. But anyway, coming in at number 5 is probably one of my favorite comedies of the 80s, and that is Porky's. Porky's is just hysterical. I mean, if it wasn't for Porky's, we wouldn't have these teen sex comedies like American Pie or Project X or whatever. Porky's kind of paved the way for those high school based films, and it's great. I mean, I love this movie so much. It's really hilarious. It's raunchy. You know, you had Kim Cattrall in this way before Sex and the City fame. The friends all had great chemistry. I just love this movie. I mean, it's definitely a comedy I could watch over and over again and never get bored of it. It's a really great one. And of course, the other the Porky sequels are not all that good. But the first Porky's is, how on 35% males is still beyond me, but whatever. Alright, coming in at number 4 is An American Werewolf in Paris. Now, most people like John Campea will say that this is their like favorite horror movie of all time. I don't think it's the best horror movie of all time, but it's definitely one of the best movies of that era. An American Werewolf in Paris is awesome. It's really creepy. It's funny at times. I mean, it's pretty much about like these two American students who end up backpacking through Britain when like Lawrence Willis ends up attacking them, but David ends up surviving the bite. Jack ends up getting killed and whatnot. But of course, he ends up being werewolf. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's called American Werewolf in Paris, not an American Dracula in Paris, but whatever. Anyway, I have vampires on my mind for some reason. Maybe it's from that Nosferatu series, but anyway. Yeah, American Werewolf in Paris is great. It's really, like I said, it's a creepy film. The two leads in this, played by David Naughton and Griffin Dunne, was both great. You know, it was directed by John Landis, who of course gave us stuff like Blue Brothers, Animal House, great director. But yeah, if you guys never seen An American Werewolf in Paris, check that one out. And you don't have to bother with the sequel. American Werewolf in London is horrible, but the American Werewolf in Paris is great. Definitely got one shot. Alright, coming in at number 3 is going to be the Cannonball Run. Now this is of course a cross-country car race from Connecticut to California. And it features like some interesting weird characters here. Like you got like a James Bond type character. You've got a pair of Ferrari driving Priuses. You also got Jackie Chan appearing in his like American film debut. You also got like a speed-loving race car driver. That's this guy, ambulance driver. So that. He also has a dimwit sidekick. I mean, Cannonball Run was directed by Hal Needham and starred Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr. Some person was in this. Great. It's a really entertaining. If you guys never seen the Cannonball Run by now, check that one out. And they're also supposed to do like a remake of it, I remember. So definitely give Cannonball Run a go. You'll enjoy it. All right. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Escape from New York, starring Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken. This movie is pure 80s entertainment action. You know, directed by John Carpenter, who of course gave us Halloween. You got, you have Kurt Russell in this, Isaac Hayes, Ernest Borgnine, Harry Dean Stanton, Donald Pleasance. Great movie. I mean, Escape from New York is good. Escape from LA, that's another story. But yeah, I just love this movie. It's a really fun, entertaining joyride. You know, Kurt Russell's Snake Plissken is one of the best action heroes you'll see. I mean, Donald Pleasant as a president is just great. Such an awesome movie. I mean, definitely check out Escape from New York if you guys never seen that. And I remember hearing words about a remake of it, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Alright, my number 1 favorite 1981 movie of all time is going to Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, come on, Indiana Jones himself, you cannot top that one. But my favorite movie of 1980 is Empire Strikes Back, while my favorite movie of 1981 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. And fun fact, both of them have Harrison Ford in it, so that's telling you something. Anyway, Raiders of the Lost Ark, of course, was Harrison Ford's debut as Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is one of the most iconic movie characters of all time. And Harrison Ford, of course, played that role perfectly. It was directed by Steven Spielberg. Featured, of course, a band of Nazis here. Of course, Karen Allen, Indiana Jones' vengeful ex-girlfriend. She was terrific in this. Such a really fun, entertaining movie. It has some great, the movie has some great action. It's amazing. I mean, and of course we had like other Indiana Jones movies as well. But out of all of them, Raiders of the Lost Ark still holds up. I think to me it's the best Indiana Jones movie as well. So, and of course, Last Crusade and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, they're all pretty good too. But Raiders of the Lost Ark is definitely the best. And if you guys still never seen it, what are you waiting for? Watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's a great film.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, Time Bandits. 9, The Evil Dead. 8, Stripes. 7, After. 6, Chariots of Fire. 5, Porky's. 4, An American Werewolf in Paris. 3, The Cannonball Run. 2, Escape from New York. 1, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, there's a few other 1981 movies out that got released, of course. Like in my honor mention, I'll probably add Friday the 13th Part 2. Blowout was a good one. Halloween 2. On Golden Pawn. Excalibur. Body Heat. You guys never seen Scanners for Your Eyes Only. Clash of the Titans, etc. I mean, loads of other ones I probably could have added. But anyway, let me leave it with you guys. What are some of your favorite movies of 1981? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is T Movies, signing out.